So, last time I opened with music, I got flagged by YouTube and the internet gods for playing the Foo Fighters and things like that. So, today, we're rocking out to my podcast music, cranking it up, having a good time while we kick this puppy off tonight. All right, so check it out. Thanks for joining me for Reber Live tonight, Monday, the 22nd of August. Let me put the guitar down. And I want to talk a little bit tonight about leads. Leads. So let me know if you can hear me. First of all, I lost my lapel mic. I traveled this week and I have the, oh wait, I just found it. There it is. So just type in if you can hear me or not so I don't have to plug it in and screw the whole thing up here. Or maybe we just do that. Let's just do it. Sitting behind my speaker or stuff. All right, here we go. So I'm going to plug this in. Hopefully it doesn't wreck everything. So let's try this. I know this is fun for you. All right, loud and clear. Thanks, Gene. How about now? You got it now? Yes? No? Maybe so? Because if so, I can stand back here. And let's see. So listen, I want to talk about, and I'm going to pull up my Facebook page here real quick and see if I can't see what y'all's typing in here, because maybe you're talking to me right now and I'm just not aware of it. So anyway, kick things off, a little jammin' bass guitar tonight because I'm learning that thing. All right, loud and clear. Yep, so I'm going to assume you can hear me. All right, cool. So listen, I want to talk about a question I get pretty frequently from contractors. Should I use a lead generation website to grow my business? All right. And so let me start right out of the gate by saying, in short, maybe. Okay. Maybe not. So it depends. And it depends on some of the things that we're going to talk about here in the next few minutes tonight. So let's talk about your options. The top 6 that come to my mind, not in any particular order, are Angie's List, Home Advisor, Porch, Thumbtack, Houzz, Houzz, and Yelp. Okay, and so these are some of the options that are available to us as contractors, and it's important to know before we dive in to what we're going to talk about that I give you a little history from one of my old businesses. So one of my old painting companies back in Chicago, we spent $800 to $1,200 a month on Angie's List, and we got a buttload of work from it, you guys. All right, tons and tons of work. In fact, next to our past customers and referrals, it was our #1 lead source for several years in a row. Now, we built our reviews up on there to 30 or 40 reviews before we ever started paying Angie's List a dime. All right, so it's important that you have good reviews and stuff. But, and I see this as a regional thing. Some regions, Angie's List is big, or some of these lead generation sites are big, and there's probably some that I didn't even talk about. You know what they are in your area. But you got to play the game a little bit. And so we have to understand that something that works for me in one area might not work for you just because of the whole regionality thing of the thing. Yeah. So, oh, by the way, I'm kind of freaking out right now. My oldest son got his driver's license a few weeks ago, and he left a few minutes ago to go pick up my daughter from soccer practice. This is like the first time, and my wife's teaching yoga, and I'm doing this, and so I'll probably relax when I hear the front door open in a little bit here. But anyway, so let's first talk about, should you use a lead generating website? All right, let's remember what business you're in. You're in the business of building and selling your stuff. Okay, you sell a project, you paint a house, build a deck, you do a beautiful water feature, landscape. That's your business. That's how you make money. Well, these lead generating services, their business is to sell leads. It is to cash or swipe our credit card every month, and in hopes of consumers reaching out to us and giving us an opportunity to bid. You know, a site like Thumbtack, All right. I know some people that do really well with it, some that don't. They're giving that lead to up to 5 different professionals in your area. So right out of the gate, somebody fills something out on one of these sites, they're sending it out to multiple people, which is why they're making a buttload of money. So their business is not your business. Their business is to sell marketing services. Is this kind of dark in here? No? I don't know. I got a big floodlight in front of me. Let me turn on another light here. All right. So remember, that's, they're in a totally different business than we are as contractors. The biggest detriment to a contracting business is that, in general, you're invisible, okay? I was recently in an area of the country where there are 2 contractors I know that are 2 of the biggest of their kind, not only in their city, but in the country, okay? I mean, pretty big. And I was in this area of the country not too long ago, and I was there for 3-4 days, whatever it was. And in that whole time, you guys, I know what to look for. I know who these contractors are, and yet I didn't see one vehicle of theirs. I didn't see one yard sign of theirs, and I'm looking for it. Okay, so these are $8-10 million companies in their industry, and neither one of them are even popping up on my radar. So don't think that everybody knows who you are. You are invisible. I am invisible as a contractor to most people. All right, so that's the biggest detriment. So should you be on these lead generating websites, you might want to be, because it's all about getting more eyeballs to your brand, to your business, people knowing that you exist. All right, but we want to be, yes, we want to be visible, but we also want to be smart. So if you remember a few weeks ago, we talked about how many leads do I need to grow my business and to hit my goals. Well, if you're doing your homework and you're tracking your leads, and you are truly saying, hey, I spend $1,000 a month on I don't know, Google pay-per-click, and these are how many leads I'm getting each month. If you're not breaking things down like that, then you're going to have a serious issue figuring out whether or not these third-party lead generation websites are a good fit for you. It's really easy to just click accept lead, accept lead, accept lead, and then people blow you off. And then next thing you know, you are not selling any jobs. So a lot of guys, a lot of contractors waste a lot of money because they're not tracking where every phone call comes from. They're not asking everyone that they talk to, hey, how did you find us, if it's not evident by the lead source that it's coming through. So remember, we talked a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, about knowing your cost per lead. All right, my cost per lead, back when I was sharing my Angie's List story with you guys a while ago, our cost per lead was about $75 a lead to get a lead, and it was about $125 or so to get a sale. And so I knew we had it down to a science that if we spent X amount of dollars on Angie's List at the time, that our phone was going to ring X amount of times based on that data. Okay, and I'm not saying that Angie's List is for you or me or whatever. I'm just giving you an example that this is one of the ways that you can, we track our leads. We know what money we're spending on all these different sources. It's going to help you make better decisions on whether or not you should spend money on some of these third-party lead generation websites. All right, so what should your marketing mix look like? Let me wow you with my artistic abilities, right? Oh man, where'd my eraser go? Let me find my eraser. Just had it. Here it is. All right. So for those of you that like football, you'll like this analogy, all right? Here's a football field. And if our ball is in the middle of the field, that's a nice looking ball, isn't it? Isn't that a good looking ball? If we're going to run the ball up the middle, that's good. We can run the ball in the middle. All right, but we still have the outside that we can run the ball. We can still throw the ball deep over the middle. We can throw the ball here. We can throw the ball here. We want to make sure that as an offense, okay, if you're not a football person, bear with me. We want to make sure as an offense, we're attacking the whole field. Okay, you don't want to be one-dimensional in anything that you do. And it's the same with your marketing. All right, so with the marketing mix, I think you got to have a great website. And that website should have a lot of really good content so that when people get to your website, they don't hit the back button and want to leave right away. But there's things that are helpful there. All right. There are things that are answering questions that might have. There's videos. There's time-lapsed, GoPro shots of you guys building or painting something. All right. These should all be on the website because a great website with great content is going to position you higher in the marketplace as somebody who's got their act together. All right. Then we go social. Guys, we live in a social world. Just on Facebook alone, we have 1.1 billion people or whatever the heck it is a day jumping on Facebook. All right. And 70% of those are women. And I know as home improvement people, we're mainly dealing with the women. All right. Most of the time in most trades at some point. Okay. So we want to make sure we're there. Facebook Live. I'm going to do another show on Facebook Live, which is what you're watching right now, on why you should do a Facebook Live from or for your contracting business on social. Listen, if I want something, one of the first things I do now is I hop on Facebook and I say, hey, does anyone know a good Chinese restaurant? Does anyone know a good carpet cleaner? Does anyone know blah, blah, blah? That has become the new word of mouth in a lot of ways. So don't neglect that. So you got to be attacking that part of the field. All right. Then we get into community, COMM, community. All right, this is stuff like sponsoring little league teams, sponsoring, races that are in town. Maybe there's a charity giveaway that you can do. I know Josh and his team with Albright Painting out in California and a number of other contractors around the country are doing a great job with a Paint It Forward program they do to be involved in the community. So again, you are establishing yourself as somebody who is a giver and not just here to, take. All right, also in the community, you got things like home shows. All right, you've got things like direct mail. All right, now before all of you start freaking out saying home shows and direct mail don't work, frickin' chill out. All right, if I told you for every $5,000, if you knew that for every $5,000 you'd spend on direct mail, you'd bring $100,000 of revenue into the business, would you do it? Give me an amen. All right, give me an amen, because you know you would. I'm not even going to wait for your amen. All right, the reason I got a couple people that are doing this right now, and the reason they know that and they have that math down, they know the formula, is because they track their leads. They know where leads are coming from. Okay, just like mine back in the day. It was kind of, my Angie's List stuff was kind of, yes, it's social, but it's really like the website thing. All right. So I knew for every $1 I spent, I was going to get 20 back on Angie's List because I tracked my leads. All right. So community stuff, be involved, be visible, yard signs, trucks, all that other stuff. All right. Influencers. Right now, some of you are going, what does this have to do with lead generation websites? But bear with me, okay? Influencers. What other contractors or professionals are standing in front of your ideal client every day of the week? They need to know who you are, okay? Who knows you? So if you're a water feature guy that just builds water features, then every full-service landscape design company that doesn't build water features should know who you are. All right. If you are a landscaping company, every garden center where people are walking into each day should know who you are. If you're a painter, the carpet guy should know you, and vice versa. All right. I did, $300,000-$400,000 a year in sales just off of influencers, just by people knowing who I was, and I didn't pay for those leads or anything. Okay. Past clients. This is a gold mine, people. All right, past clients. Who's already given you money? They're more likely to give you money again. All right, so make sure you are emailing them, you're sending them a letter, you're picking up a phone call. Heck, I believe, I can't remember who it was. Somebody just picked their phone up last week or 2 weeks ago and they had a hole in their schedule, and they called past customers whose warranties were about to expire. Okay, and they said, hey, how's your project looking? Your warranty's up in a couple months. All right, he might have called or dropped by and knocked on the door, whatever it was. Anyway, I think it led to like an $8,000 or a $10,000 sale just because they kept in touch and checked in on their past clients. So you got to make sure you're doing that. All right, so then you put all these things together, and if you need 100 leads a year or a month, and all this combined gets you 80, okay? You need 20 more. And that's where the right lead generating sites might be a good fit for you to fill in some of those gaps. Heck, I did a poll in another Facebook group just this morning, and a guy said a home advisor gave him $10,000, $20,000 projects in the last 2 years, and he spent a couple $100 in leads. Okay, so dip your toe into some of these things. Maybe some of you have and it hasn't worked in your area. Maybe, you know, this is another tangent, squirrel, okay? But a lot of times what happens is somebody goes to your Angie's List or Home Advisor profile, okay, and they click on the link back to your website. Well, where does it take them? Most of us take them right back to our home page. Well, what about this? Let's take Houzz, houzz.com. Why do people go to Houzz? Somebody type in there, H-O-U-Z-Z. Anyone who's familiar with Houzz, what is the number one reason somebody goes to Houzz? Let me refresh my screen over here. While I wait for your wisdom to come peeling in here. All right, it's refreshing. I want to see if somebody can answer this. Why do people go to Houzz? Uh-oh. Come on. Nobody? Nobody wants to answer? Last chance. There it is. Ideas and photos. Okay, perfect. So Dan, you're today's winner. I'll buy you a beer at Pandemonium this week in Chicago. All right. So when somebody is on Houzz, this is on all these different sites, it's important for you to think, okay, why are they on that site? All right, so if I'm on Houzz, I want ideas. Well, what about when it says, you know, visit their website, our website, and they click it? What if it went to a unique video that you shot that was for Houzz users? So they click the button to visit website, it pulls up a separate landing page, not your home page, and it's your happy face standing there saying, hey, I'm Billy from Billy's Landscaping, and I wanted to thank you for clicking over from our Houzz page. And I know if you're like most people that are on Houzz, you're looking for ideas. So below you'll find some links of some real that we've built. Go ahead. All right, there we go. I'm back. I don't know if you lost me. Okay, here's some links. You could put an opt-in box and say, hey, we'd love to send you our design guide or our dream book or whatever for more ideas. Free on us. Here it is. Give us your address. Now you got their information and you're giving them what they were looking for on Houzz. Or a site like a Thumbtack, for instance. People go on Thumbtack and they want prices. Okay, they don't want to meet with us because we're creepy, scary contractors. So they want to say, hey, we just want to post something on here and you tell us how much it is. So you could have on your profile there when somebody clicks over, hey, thanks for clicking over from our Thumbtack. Try to say that with a dry mouth. Our Thumbtack profile. I'm cracking myself up because I'm by myself right now in my office. Yeah. So, and here's our pricing guide, or click here to see what the average cost of a patio or painting a house is, or whatever. Give them what they're looking for, and those are ways that you can get more bang for your buck and stand out in these. This plethora of contractors that these lead generating sites are giving people. All right. So remember, a couple weeks ago we talked about how many leads you need to grow your business. You've got to know how many leads you need, and you attack the whole field. Don't just rely on one thing. A lot of guys will say, well, I've done word of mouth for 20 years and I never have to do any more word of mouth, or all I do is word of mouth. I don't spend any marketing money on anything. I think you're stupid. Okay, I think that's really stupid because you're leaving a lot of money on the table and you've basically just given yourself a job. You've not created a system that is repeatable. And you don't have to be a big, huge company someday, but you do need to have a marketing strategy and a plan in place that's based on the data so that you could make good decisions about how to spend your money and not have to rely on whether somebody's going to tell somebody how awesome you were this month. All right, so a lot of the companies that I see that struggle with lead flow are the ones that strictly Okay, I think I'm back. It was trying to reconnect. So, what kind of ROI, return on investment, do I want from a lead source? Whether it's Angie's List, Home Advisor, Porch, House, whatever we're talking here, whether it's if I'm doing pay-per-click, what else I got on there? Direct mail, things like that. Guys, I want 10 to 20 minimum of 10. All right, so if I spend $1,000 a month on Home Advisor, I need to be selling at least $10,000 a month for me to feel like it's worth it. All right, so do the math. Take the time, figure out where your leads are coming from. All right, track them. Whoever's answering your phone or checking your forms on your website, make sure they got a spreadsheet or some sort of CRM in place where every month you can pull that thing up and you could go, wow, we spent 12 grand on this marketing thing this year and we've gotten 4 leads. That would be nice to know, okay, instead of just guessing. All right, so attack the whole field, and part of that attack is probably going to be some sort of third-party lead generation website. Now, when you go to these third-party lead generation websites, they're going to have all these case studies. Here's Billy Bob's Bug Service, and he does 90% of his business through our lead generating service. Okay, problem with that is Billy Bob, or whatever the name I just gave the guy, Billy Bob is totally hosed if that lead generating service stops performing, or they go out of business, or they sell the company, or they change their policies and he doesn't like it. He's screwed. So don't have all your eggs in any one marketing basket. Okay, make sure that you're spreading it the love. Now, when I find something that's working, and it's working now, man, let's double down on it. And you take some of the money from something else that might not be performing for you, and you could cut that for a while and move that money over there. But again, this all comes back to knowing how many leads and sales you need, creating a budget and a strategy to help you do that every year. So listen, guys, I hope this helps you make some sort of sense of this whole marketing thing, and where you should be spending your money. Whether you should spend it on these lead generating sites. Now, online, because these are all online, I'm 100% in favor of building your own website first. Build your own web presence first, okay? So that you have that home base, okay? And work hard to create good content that is going to add value to people, and then start dipping your toe with some of these other, see, my toe, there's my toe. All right, start dipping your toe. It was just funny, out of the corner of my eye caught my toe when I said the word toe and saw another squirrel there. It was crazy. Speaking of squirrels, I think I'm going to write a book called The Tribe of Squirrels. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I just like the name. All right, so, yeah, I don't get out much, sorry. So your home base, it has to be your website. Okay, don't rely on all these other things first. Establish your own online presence before you go out and you blow a lot of money on all these other things. And that goes for anything, like the direct mail piece. Your direct mail piece, there was a stat I read, I wish I could remember what it was, but I can't. It was the other day, 89% of the people that respond to a direct mail ad or one of those magazines or whatever will actually go to the company's website first before they call. Okay, so even if they call you because of that direct mail piece or your yard sign or your trucks, in most cases, almost 90% of the time, they're going to go to your website. And whatever you have on your website there, when that pops up, it's going to do 2 things. The first thing it's going to do, it's going to immediately position you in their mind of what type of company you are, what type of person you are. Okay, yeah, everyone's typing squirrels. Thanks, guys. It's coming in late, so now you're distracting me again. See, I was totally in the groove there. And my best stuff was about to come. All right, so where the hell was I now? Come on, you just, gosh darn it. Where was I? Somebody help me out. Really, this is bad. This is embarrassing. Let me see. Let me refresh again. Oh, lordy, lordy. Yeah, my internet's slow tonight. My brain's all over the place. Yeah, I ain't seeing it. All right, so Oh, two things when you go on your website. When somebody lands on your website, see, I knew I'd get it. Come back to me. It's going to position you in the marketplace. So if somebody sees a really nice direct mail piece and they go, oh, wow, this looks like a company I'd like to call, and they go to your website to spy on you and check you out, and they go to your social media profile to spy on you and check you out, because that's what we all do. Raise your hand if you do that, because I do. All right? If your website's shitty, I ain't calling you. I'm back buttoning out of there. I truly am. And consumers want things that are easy and simple. So that's the first thing. When that website pops up, it positions you. The second thing your website should do is within a matter of a couple seconds, it should communicate clearly what you want people to do once they get there. So I don't care if they're calling you from a direct mail piece, if they're hitting your website from House or Home Advisor or any of these other lead generating services, you've got to have a great website. So that was kind of a tangent there on this whole thing. All right. So hopefully this helps you guys make a little bit more sense of this whole third-party lead generating stuff. Track your leads, track your leads, track your dollars. Know where every phone call comes from, where every lead comes from. No exceptions, even if you don't do that type of work. Okay, if you don't cut grass and people are calling you to cut grass, still write that down, what they were looking for, what they wanted. The more detail, the better you can create a great strategy to build your business. All right? All right. Two more things. This Thursday, I'm traveling to Pandemonium outside of Chicago in St. Charles. This is the water gardening capital of the world, Aquascape. They put on a phenomenal event every August, and I'm excited to go there and see many of you that are watching this and some other people as well. I'm not sure what the status of Thursday night is going to be, just what we have going on with the event that night, and how my Wi-Fi will be. So I'm going to play that by ear. So I may or may not be here this Thursday night. Just a lot of travel these last couple weeks. And then finally, if you are a young business, young, new, chances are you might need some help. You might want some help. We've been getting a lot of requests from younger businesses. And so we've put together a tag team coaching program designed for younger businesses like $500,000 and under. Okay, to help you get the help you need without breaking the bank. And your coaching fees will actually grow as your business grows, not just your business, but your profits. So it's a win all the way around. And if you're interested in that, send an email to tom@motorhard.com or message me through this page. All right, let me refresh one more time, see if we have any other really brilliant comments from all my squirrel friends out there. And I don't think I do. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. And here's my encouragement to you today, tomorrow, and the next day. Do this. We'll see you guys next time on Reber Live.